You're watching the NASCAR Amino Network.
It is the day most of us have been waiting for. It is the NASCAR Amino iRacing Cup Series throwback race here at the Martinsville Speedway. I'm joined in the booth here by Justino Ricardo, and my goodness, this is going to be a wildly different race. So much is going to happen. First time we're ever at Martinsville. What the heck might happen here?
Well, the start is going to be a fun one, to say the least, for the drivers, obviously, and the playoffs here in the NASCAR with the Martinsville race. Temperature's going to get heated. That's really what I could say. It's going to be hard to drive at this track, so, look forward to see what these drivers can do.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting. Definitely something that is going to probably keep our attention for most of the day are those throwback schemes. And look at that beautiful Jeff Gordon car. Lucy Fago, put it on pole. Justino, take us around for a couple laps here.
Yeah, there's that classic, I think, DuPont 25 years paint scheme on number 5, Lucy Fago. But again, you'll see driving into Martinsville, it's going to be a lot different in these next-gen cars than it was in previous years. You'll see a lot more shifting at these short tracks, especially here at Martinsville. You'll see Lucy down there in turn number 3 will use the downshift to kind of, let the car turn a little bit more, get a little bit loose. That helps with rotation, and that'll help her get a pretty tight line there. You'll see her move down to at least somewhat close to that black bumper area with the curbs, I guess you could call those. But yeah, that's exactly what you're looking to do here at Martinsville in your lap. Make sure you can get on those brakes, keep it sticking on that bottom, and use the gear shift to rotate.
What a lap it was for Lucy Fago to put herself on pole here for the Martinsville race tonight. It's going to be an exciting one. The cars will be on the field eventually. Yeah, here we go. On the field, they're going to get ready to fire the engines. But while the cars eventually get ready to fire the engines, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup right away, just because it's quicker and it's easier. That way you can also see what cars are throwing back to who, which will be the exciting part to see. So it's Lucy and Caleb Marinelli on the front row here. Row 2 goes to Carter Jones and Ethan O'Connor. Pretty cool throwbacks from both of them. Sustry and Justin Ricci in the 12 right there in row 3. Row 4, Jordan Fox and Alan Mooch. Throwbacks to themselves and Mark Martin, pretty cool. Zach Stern and Paul Donlin in row 5. Caden Bishop, Zachary Shepard in row 6. And then row 7, Caden Bishop and Kylie Grider. Justino, take us through the rest.
All right, back here in row number 8, there's Gary Russell with a beautiful Oxbow throwback, another beautiful throwback, number 41, Elon Solberg. Row 9, we see Evan Taddy and Don Falcon, a very nice Hudson Hornet throwback on that 32. Quinn Yeager, JD Bregler, row 10, two very nice cars they have as well, a lot of throwbacks here. Roberto Crown on the 21, White Wild in 31, row 11. 78, Seth Peters, row 12, Tanner Campos with the 24. Yeah, there we go. Two teammates, Ethan Farley and Dylan Jones, row 13. Alex Murillo, Tree Leclerc, row 14. Lindsey Dietz, Anthony Sasso, row 15.
Bam. What a qualifying run that was. Well, pace car has pulled it off. Lucy Fago, Caleb Marinelli on the front row. Green is out. We're underway at the throwback race.
Again, here at Martinsville, you're really going to need that bottom line there. You see Lucy diving down below almost immediately. Look at the run that lets Carter Jones get immediately on Caleb Marinelli, almost clearing for second.
Off at turn 4, it's going to be the 5. Lucy Fago going to be leading lap number 1 here. Important bonus point right there for the 5 in these playoffs. Carter Jones there in second. Meanwhile, Sustry is following to third. Caleb Marinelli really cannot get to that bottom lane. Is going to continue to fall back.
Yeah, again, all the way back 3 spots rather, for that 15. Again, that top line, you cannot make any passes up there, at least until we get some rubber down. So that's going to be the key factor there. Carter Jones challenging for the lead now.
Here goes the 62 Matt Kenseth throwback for the 62 of Carter Jones, but Lucy with an incredible run off of turn 2 there, almost clears herself back into the lead, but it's not going to be quite enough. Carter back to the inside with a great run on the bottom, hooks that line, leads the lap, and takes the lead.
And he's just about cleared that 5 car, but that 5 of Fago has some more challenges behind now. She's stuck on that outside line. I'm not sure if she'll be able to get back in front of Kyler Sustry, but she's got even more problems to deal with. There's Ricci on her rear bumper.
Yeah, now we'll see if the 5 can deal with any of the same issues that the 15 had there earlier, who has fallen all the way back to 5th as Stern got to his inside. That's Marinelli. But it's Fago on the outside trying to keep a solid run because she's doing really well off of turn 2 on the top lane. Is clear for a second there, but it's not going to be able to get down. Sustry still battling there for second. Meanwhile, Ricci behind is going to be trying to find which lane he can get the best run.
I think now Lucy's trying to figure out how to run that outside lane, seeing that Sustry has not cleared her yet. Ricci's going to try to use that bottom to get around Fago. Fago, not a great run on that outside there, allowing Sustry to clear.
Here goes Ricci to the inside. They're going to look to go 3 wide almost. Ricci on the bottom takes second away. And now
A
it's
double
Lucy
overtake.
and Sustry side by side for third. What a move by the 12.
You don't see that often here at Martinsville, 3 wide. That's almost impossible. But these next-gen cars, that extra downforce will definitely help you make a move like that. Here comes Zach Stern into the picture.
It's going to be interesting to see specifically because we have never raced here in these cars at this racetrack in this series yet. The only, I guess, comparison we have is, I guess, maybe Richmond, which we ran which was about 2 weeks ago. So it's tough to pass at these racetracks, but at the same time, these drivers they're going to use all the racetrack they can.
Again, Zach Stern making a really great move down the bottom. Those Chevrolets very early on, very fast in the running here. Carter Jones with the race lead, Ricci moving up through, and Zach Stern as well.
Now here comes Jordan Fox as well. Fox has been on a little bit of a struggle bus, especially at the start of these playoffs. Really hasn't gone anywhere. Meanwhile, looking at some drivers behind as well. Caden Bishop, Ethan O'Connor. Here comes Evan Toddy, who started pretty deep in the field, making his way back up front. So great run so far for Evan Toddy. Meanwhile, just look at these beautiful paint schemes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, interesting to see a lot of passing here, allowing us to see a lot of these great paint schemes. If you think at a track like Martinsville with the extra grip, it'd be tough to make moves like that. But, that seems to not be the case here.
Yeah, look at some of these good schemes. Here comes Grider to the inside. Alan Mooch throwing it back to one of his late model schemes, I believe. Running well. Shepard there. Carl Edwards looking throwback. There's that Quinn Yeager throwback to that Kevin I'm pretty sure Kevin Harvick has the most throwbacks in this field. I don't remember exactly how many, but there's quite a few.
That's a fascinating stat. There's another Harvick throwback all the way back there.
I gotta do my research. So Quinn is throwing back. They're 3 wide.
Hang on,
Falconer. Contact between him and Farley. They save it, but they're gonna keep it going.
Wow. A lot of Gordon throwbacks as well, I'm noticing too.
Yeah, there's a lot of Gordon throwbacks for Fago, Tanner Campos. I love that throwback for Sasso. He's got that Martin Truex Jr. throwback, but he's got his Marvel sponsorship into that paint scheme. I really love that.
Very nice.
And then there's a really nice Lewis Hamilton paint scheme as well for Tree.
Not speaking of which, but Carter Jones has still pulled away from the rest of the field. What a big gap he's got over second place's teammate Justin Ricci, who has moved through the field excellently so far.
And I'm going to highlight here, I know it's really, really early, but I'm going to highlight this and preface this right now, that the fuel window is pretty big. Fuel window, catch it right before Lucy was qualifying, 76 to 82 laps. So it's going to be a while before any of these guys pit, especially if we go green the whole way here. But of course, that depends on cautions. If we run 50 laps and then a yellow comes out, we might just pit there and be able to make it to the end. So could be interesting to see which strategy we have.
I would say the goal here would try to split this race in half. We have a 125-lap race, correct me if I'm wrong, going through the running now. And you'll be able to split that in half at like the 60, just barely at the fuel distance that we have. But the question is, will the tires go that long? Will they need to pit? And if there is a caution, you bet these guys will be pitting so they don't get run over on old tires.
You know, it's really interesting that you bring up the tire wear, because at Richmond, especially at any of the short tracks, even Bristol a while ago, tire wear wasn't the biggest factor. I mean, there was fall off, but not a lot of fall off, and especially at such a slow racetrack here where I believe cars are getting as low as second gear. I don't think tire wear may be the biggest factor in today's race.
Interesting. Yes, I mean we mentioned that downforce too, so it's not going to be as slippy as in years past. Now here at Martinsville, that's not going to stop Lucy Fago from gaining up some time now on second. She wants that position back to Justin Rickey.
Ricci there in second. I'm not going to lie, just looking at that paint scheme and Lucy's paint scheme between Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, I don't know, that just looks really cool to me.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That looks excellent.
Meanwhile, Carter Jones will highlight his paint scheme a little bit again just while he's leading. It may not look exactly like what he's throwing it back to, but the same design. Of course, the different colors to match his sponsor, but overall not bad. And speaking of color changes, Jordan Fox as well, running a Mark Martin Viagra throwback, which was normally blue, but to match Jordan Fox, it's on the more pink side. But it still looks really good.
Yes, I agree. Very nice looking throwback here. I think Jordan Fox, the highest running non-Chevy driver in a Ford, in fourth. But Carter really pulling away now.
Now, get ready, because this is going to be something else that's going to be mightily important today. Lap traffic. How will drivers be able to navigate through? How will that affect things? I believe I saw Tree Leclerc in the distance. Going to be lapped here very shortly, but many of the drivers starting to single file out. Some double file trying to just figure out, get used to the racetrack. We're 20 laps in, and there's still 105 to go.
Well, if we learn anything from this series, that lap cars do not like getting out of the way of oncoming leaders, okay? They would rather fight to stay on the lead lap. They'd probably die before they gave up a lap here in the NASCAR Amino iRacing Cup Series. So, that's exactly what we're going to see now as Carter Jones catches him, but he's just got to navigate through it. Look at this absolute hornet's nest behind him.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers in that fifth place range battling there. Second place is going to be starting to heat up here. Ricci not really able to gain very much on Carter Jones, but the battle is getting close between he, Lucy, and Jordan Fox, who's closed in on that 5 car. Going to look to take third place away.
Yeah, Lucy Fago now has bigger problems to deal with before she can challenge that 12 car, but Jordan Fox seems... we haven't really been talking much about him this race so far. I've been talking about these front runners, maybe a few of those Chevrolets, those Taos, Zach Stern back there. Caleb Marinelli dropping back pretty bad, but Jordan Fox having a pretty good run so far.
Yeah, he was a driver who was kind of on a late season push to try to make the playoffs. He struggled early, as well as his teammate Elon did, but all of a sudden, I think it was around like Michigan or so, they just had so much speed. They were pushing. I remember Jordan dominated Gateway, but ultimately came up just short. And it's interesting to think now, because Jordan is the highest non-playoff driver right now. Top 3, Carter, Justin, and Lucy all are in the playoffs. So you obviously think Jordan Fox is just going to say, I don't care, I'm here to win.
Well, there goes on the outside. That's a new one. Trying to make a pass down on that outside. Maybe some rubbers are finally starting to get run down on that top side of the racetrack. See the run he gets off that corner. He's still side by side with Fago.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do here. He's running pretty strong right now, keeping good momentum on the outside. Especially from what I've saw, the best place to make the outside work will be in turn 3 and 4, because as you see there in 1 and 2, the cars can just hold that bottom lane so tight, and they're able to get a run by. Meanwhile, Carter Jones puts Tree Leclerc first car 1 lap down.
That was quick. Carter made quick work of that 44 car. Taking that lap, putting that 44 car lap down. In 1 and 2, he's going to try to pull away his next lap traffic car. I don't see them on the screen just yet. I'm sure we'll see them in 3 and 4, though. No, we don't. Actually, we caught a tail end of them, but I don't know who that is. But that's Lindsay Dietz, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so,
it looked like Lindsay. Yep, about to go a lap down here soon. But, of course, we're going to see. There's no real big, giant groups of lap cars, maybe until you get way higher into the field. But for right now, Carter Jones is probably just seeing in this mirror, just like, okay, just pass them one at a time. Don't worry about it. You got Mariel, you got Lindsay Dietz right there in front. And then you got these guys, Dylan and Wyatt Wild, who I guess they're closer together. Then you got this group. But Carter's not going to worry about catching these guys anytime soon.
I've now... Yeah, that lap traffic car of Tree Leclerc. I'd like to see how the rest of this field navigates and if he'll be kinder to them as they catch, because now that he's already a lap down and is fading from Carter Jones, he'll be nicer to the rest of the field. We'll see what happens when Ricci catches him. But speaking of catching, Carter Jones is really closing that gap between himself and Lindsey Dietz.
Yeah, he is really setting the pace in this race so far. Of course, he's looking like he wants to be the car to beat early here, but there is still plenty of racing to go. There's still a pit stop. I'm sure there's plenty of drivers who are maybe a little unhappy with some of their setups right now, especially a driver like Tanner Campos, who is struggling. He is way in the back. I'm pretty sure Ethan O'Connor was starting to fall through the field, and Caleb Marinelli struggled a little bit early as well. So I'm sure some drivers are ready to get to that first pit stop. It'll be interesting to see when, but now it's Justin Ricci, who is interestingly trying to take the outside to get around Tree Leclerc. Meanwhile, Carter's to the inside of Lindsey.
Yeah, Tree didn't really give him that bottom line that he wanted, but looks like Lindsey was a lot kinder to the 62 than Tree to the 12. But yeah, you see him just pulling away down the straightaway. That 62 car is fast.
Yeah, it's interesting. We haven't seen really much short track speed, I guess, out of the 62. I guess the most dominant car at a short track recently was probably Zach Stern, who ran pretty well at Richmond. Meanwhile, behind, now it's a battle between Tyler Sustry, Caden Bishop, and Lucy Fago. Lucy's starting to lose a little bit of ground here.
Oh, but just said a Sustry-Fago battle has been renewed, but Sustry takes it just that happens. Caden Bishop now up there. Cade, another guy we haven't talked about, having a pretty silent season. But, he's up there. He's challenging Fago for that spot.
What about the turnaround, though, for Caden Bishop? He came into Talladega, still never have won a race. And then he was probably, I guess, the biggest underdog in the playoffs. He was way out, won himself the race at Talladega, and advanced himself into this next round.
Wow. Again, that's what Talladega is going to do for you. Talladega can either end your run or make your run. That's exactly what it did for Caden Bishop.
Carter Jones this time by, hits 89 laps to go. You can see he got by Alex Morrill, and Ricci got around Lindsey Dietz as well. Meanwhile, behind now, this is going to be interesting. Car is fighting for position. Meanwhile, Tree's not getting out of the race.
Jordan Fox, 3 wide up the middle.
They're going to get by Tree. Wow.
This is how drivers get a little bit impatient here at Martinsville, especially. I mean, it's early in the race, but that was a pretty impatient move out of Jordan Fox trying to get around the lap car.
I'm assuming he probably was told by either a spotter or his crew chief saying that, hey, that 44 is slow. You cannot waste time. And you can see it paid off. He's still hanging on that outside with Sustry now right there in third. Meanwhile, Bishop and Jordan Fox now side by side from fourth.
Sustry doing a great job pulling away. Lucy Fago really struggling with that lap traffic. She's down back to where Kayla Marinelli dropped after the race, and she's battling that guy.
Marinelli's going to look to get by, and then here's come up some other drivers we haven't really mentioned there. You see Paul Donlin there just behind Caleb Marinelli trying to fight his way through the field. He's got Zach Stern right behind him. Some more playoff drivers. I believe Zach Stern is the lowest running playoff driver right now, but he's still hanging solidly just inside the top 10. Meanwhile, Carter Jones is even pulling further away here, but now he's got way more lap traffic to deal with. It'll be interesting to see how he works with this. He's going to try to go the outside of his teammate Dylan Jones.
Yeah, his teammate not really giving that inside line. Why exactly? I don't know. It might be because Dylan Jones is leaving iRacing. The sunset of the season, does not care anymore. But again, there's no lap cars between the teammates, the 62 and the 12. So see that works to reach his advantage. Dylan Jones is being very kind to his teammate.
Yeah, you can imagine this is going to have to play to the advantage of the 12 there. He's got clean air right now. Carter Jones is absolutely struggling to get by the 51 here. But yeah, he's got about half a straightaway lead or so. Lap times really haven't fallen off that much since the beginning of the race, so I still am curious to see if tire will play any more importance later in the race. But I feel like dealing with this lap traffic could maybe have the drivers push tires just a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see what this fuel strategy ends up being as well. We were talking about that earlier. If these guys, I mean, I would expect them to come in within the next, I would guess, like, if they want to split this race in half, probably like 20 to 30 laps. So we still have a good amount of time until then. But are the tires going to make it that far?
Well, so far we've run about 40 laps on this set of tires, and I gotta say, really, especially looking at Carter Jones, he's really only fallen off maybe about a tenth or two. So maybe, especially to him, I don't know. He may just not be pushing terribly as hard.
I mean, that'd be interesting to see him not pushing hard as the leader, gapping the rest of the field. So I don't know. Maybe the tires aren't as big of an issue here as we could have previously thought they would be. So you know, I don't think we'll see that much strategy playing into effect, other than for fuel. Which you know, it seems to be at these flat tracks like Martinsville, these flatter, shorter tracks. Fuel seems to be a really big thing.
You know, something I just want to point out while we were looking at him, Nate Wines is a driver who I expected would probably be contending for this win right now, but he is struggling here early, not able to have the great run. Remember, he won at a short track, won at Bristol, and looked like he was going to win at Richmond until he had that tire issue. So kind of surprising by the performance by the 38. Even Alamouche, who isn't that far up either. So a little bit shocking from these short track racers. Meanwhile, Carter Jones is now on the outside of Wyatt Wild. The gap between he and Ricci have not really changed terribly much.
Luckily, he was able to get around his teammate Dylan Jones, but Dylan Jones is still there. While also Ford is forcing the 62 around the outside. He's just going to cut him off right there.
Now, this will be interesting to see. He's got another teammate in front of him. He's got Tanner Campos. And now, kind of like you mentioned with Dylan, who's saying he may just not really care. He's leaving Tau Racing at the end of the year. Tanner Campos, nobody has any idea what he's doing next year. He's still a Tau driver right now, but this time next year, he may not be. We don't know.
I mean, I'd like to know if he knows what he's doing next year as well. But, you know, at this point, hopefully he's getting some deals done, seeing where he can go. He was able to get around Sasso as well, I think, Tanner Campos, unless he was already in front. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying that close attention. But, you know, again, we'll see this field continue to navigate through lap traffic. Seems to be something that could really shake up this race.
A little bit shaking up. Paul Donlin, he's starting to get a little bit of a run here. He's looking to get by Caleb Ranelli to, I believe, get into the 6th or 7th position here. So solid run here by the 7. He started a little bit lower in the field as well, but now he's starting to make a run by. Zach Stern has kind of been behind him this whole race. So wherever that 7 goes, the 8 seems to follow, and it looks like Donlin's going to get right by Caleb Ranelli. All right, here's Carter Jones. Now he's caught in the back of this lap traffic. This is what we talked about a while ago, saying that there was a big gaggle of race cars. Carter Jones is going to make this just look as simple as possible.
I'm not sure what that little shot out of not the 78, the 26 Anthony South of the Truex scheme is very deceiving. But, you know, Carter Jones will get around his teammate there. Is now right behind yet another race. I think that's Ethan Farley.
Now it's going to be even more interesting. Carter's starting to get by these lap guys really easily, but now the amount of cars that are in between he and the 12, a lot more. Ricci, I think I saw there at a corner of my eye. He's stuck on the outside trying to get around a lap car, really not able to go anywhere. Yeah, that's Wyatt Wild there, it looks like. But he's now stuck. There's 3, 4, 5. 5 lap cars in between the top 2 right now. So now Ricci's just got to really start to push here. Meanwhile, you see Sustrai, he's starting to catch up.
I see Wyatt Wild getting that run on the outside, using that as well. So Ricci's going to try that out to get around his teammate, who's also not being very nice to him. The Tau teammates aren't really being courteous as lap cars to one another.
Now this is going to be interesting to see, because if Ricci cannot clear the 51, which it won't look like he will here, he's going to keep running that outside and continue to possibly lose time here. Yet Dylan is not giving that up for some reason. And look at this. That is allowing Sustrai and Caden Bishop, the Brink teammates, to catch up here.
I finally get to see the Toyotas make their way back up through the field. Again, Caden Bishop, we were just talking about earlier. Kyler Sustrai has been at some pretty interesting battles up here as well, but not really for the lead. And now he's looking to get into top 3, and there he is into the top 3 around Caden Bishop.
Sustrai hanging on there. Justin Ricci just cannot get by that 51. He's trying that outside, but just to no avail. That is allowing the 99 of Sustrai to get to his inside. Ricci with a good run off of turn 2, but it looks like they're going to go side by side into turn 3.
And he's going to throw that on the outside once more, just on the bases. There's nowhere else for him to go. He stays behind the 51. He's not going anywhere, but that outside isn't going anywhere either. So I'd like to see if Sustrai can navigate the 51 any better.
I feel like at this point, we saw 3 wide earlier. Do you think the patience, especially for Ricci here, is going to really start to kick up here any lap?
I mean, absolutely, but I think 3 wide's only going to happen if Sustry also feels that lack of patience. But there's Ricci anyway, around the outside and straight away the 51.
Yeah, he had a great run there off the turn 4. Finally was able to get by the 51. Now Carter Jones still hanging on just in front of his teammate Tanner Campos, who just was put a lap down. Now he's got Quinn Yeager and another nice looking Kevin Harvick paint scheme there. Carter's going to get to the inside of the 29 here, put him a lap down. 66 laps to go. We're about halfway through this race here. Now the question is, when does fuel start? I'm pretty sure the max we can run to maybe about around 30 or so laps to go. So if these guys want to stretch this window as long as they can, I'd expect pit stops in the next 30 or so laps. But will drivers wait that long? I have no idea.
I think even if the tire wear isn't that bad, you'd want to bring it down early just so you don't upset that strategy and run those extra laps on those worn tires to somebody else who decides to split it halfway. So halfway would probably be the way to go in this race, which means we should start to expect some drivers coming down within the next 5 or 10 laps or so.
Now, I'm trying to think of who would possibly be those drivers, and Carter Jones, I don't think would show any interest in pitting right now. He's got a bunch of lap cars in between. He's still running very competitive lap times. But I imagine the drivers who are going to maybe try and maybe flip-flop a strategy are some of these guys towards the back. Probably not Ricci, but maybe those guys behind, like Caleb Bernelli, who's just maybe inside or just outside the top 10. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
We should get around the lap traffic of Ethan Farley as well. Again, we see another gaggle of cars. We were just talking about could Kyle Sustry navigate the 51. He seems to be having just as much trouble as the driver before him. That's letting Caleb Marinelli make his way back up through the field.
Look at how much the 31 of Wyatt Wild just backed off the corner there. Just because, I don't know if that's just because his car is not handling as perfect right now, but Sustry is having his most difficult time because he's got a car on his outside, and he's got Wyatt Wild stuck on his inside, and it's not as easy to clear as Sustry now has to worry about his teammate for Caleb Ranelli right behind him. And look who else that's bringing into the mix. There's Lucy, and there's Paul Donnelly.
Well, Sustry finally gets that bottom groove. That'll help him out. Another teammate for Ricci to deal with there in the 24 as well. Carter Jones also making his way through lap traffic, just made his way around Quinn Yeager as well. But that seems to be the theme of the race, lap traffic. If you can navigate it better, you can gain a significant amount of time.
Someone who I think is probably frustrated right now is Ethan O'Connor. He started up front, but he is just fallen backwards and has not gone any bit forward right now. And he is right now also on the verge of going a lap down. Carter Jones looks like he's going to get to the inside. O'Connor just does not look like he can put up a fight at all.
Man, O'Connor is not having the best of days today. You know, was eliminated from the playoffs just recently, and it seems that motivation has gotten to rock bottom. Unfortunate for that 28 team. An underdog run to the playoff was pretty great until he was eliminated.
And now you got a little... I can sense a pattern right here. You got either the Jeff Gordon race cars or you got the Brink race cars right here, all in the mix. Paul Donlin a little wide there. I thought Lucy was going to go 3 wide, but thinks better of it. That's allowing Dylan to fight back on the inside for probably no good reason.
Let's take a better look at the right side of that Paul Donlin car now. Just eyes playing tricks on me. I thought he might have had a little bit of damage there, but the flames and the directions and the colors really threw me off guard there.
Ricci's now going to try to fight to get around Sasso on the outside. There's Tree now going 2 laps down. Carter Jones still beginning to fight his way. There's Lindsay that's also going to go 2 laps down, but the gap between he and Ricci have grown significantly. It's about a full straightaway here now. Meanwhile, Sustry has started to pull away from the guys behind him now all by himself, and now it's these guys battling all over the place.
Zach Stern seemed to have dropped back the last time we checked on him, or maybe it's the lap traffic playing tricks on me. I don't know. But overall, yeah, we'll just see who can get around that traffic better and who decides to be the first one on pit road.
There's these 3 lap cars. You can see Carter Jones. He's just right there in the back. These guys will be going a lap down eventually here. Carter is just about to catch up to Lindsay. And something I don't think we also have pointed out yet, Carter Jones has led basically all but maybe like 3 laps in this race so far. And for a playoff driver like Carter Jones, who entered this race, I believe, outside of the cut line, this is vital for him. If he can hang on to lead the most laps, there's another valuable, I guess, 2 total bonus points.
Oh yeah, that's excellent in the plaster, especially as close as that bubble is. Even the most secure of drivers are only about 13, 14 points in. So every point really matters here. Carter Jones get this win done today and lead the most laps. That'd be excellent for his playoff run.
And of course, something else here that would be important is setting a fast lap right here. And of course, these lap times, I'll be honest, I'm looking at the lap times. They have not fallen off really at all still here, which is pretty incredible to see. I don't know if that's something, I guess, for this race car, maybe not, adapting to Martinsville well enough, or maybe it's just the tire that Goodyear brought here that maybe they just think is not a perfect fit.
Well, given that we haven't seen any drivers on pit road yet, and that we are past the halfway mark significantly at this point in this race. So if a driver were to split it halfway, it would be for their tires, and we haven't seen that happen yet. So I think we'll probably end up waiting an extra 20 laps to see these guys pit, because I think their tires are just fine to run those extra 20 laps.
Ricci's trying to get to the outside here. You can see the gap. He has cut it down significantly to Carter Jones. He is struggling to get by the 74 of Lindsay, who is not at all up to speed right now. A little bit off the pace here. And if Ricci can get by O'Connor simply here, doesn't look like he's going to be very easy. But he is all of a sudden catching up to that 62. And if he's going to keep riding the outside, that's going to be exactly what the 12 needs.
Well, you used the word simple, and it really isn't simple, as we've seen today, with all these lap cars really just refusing to get out of the way, even if they're already a lap down. But Carter Jones is going to try to run that outside. Finally, no, he didn't clear him. I thought he was going to clear the 74, but she's still side by side on that bottom. There goes Carter clearing the 74.
Well, now the gap is less than a straightaway, a little bit less than half the straightaway here. So now Ricci's going to be thinking here, what can he do to get closer to that 62 here? And of course, the question is, when do drivers begin to pit? Right now.
We were just talking about it. Carter Jones, interesting that he's the one that takes the gamble as the race leader. We'll see how the rest of this field responds to that. But very interesting mover to the 62.
All right, I'm doing my math here currently, and it looks like the fuel window is basically open right now here. So it's, of course, interesting to see Carter be the first to bring it to pit road. Ricci's going to follow as well here. But these drivers now who are staying out probably cannot run many more laps.
We'll see how the rest of this field decides to approach the strategy here. I think early pitting would definitely be the way to go, seeing how tire fall isn't as bad. You can gain at least a couple of tenths if you're lucky there. But overall, Carter Jones is really going to slow up Paul Donlin here as he exits pit road. Paul Donlin's going to pit. Zach Stern's going to pit. And there it is. Green flag pit stops are underway.
Okay, something I got to highlight there. Paul Donlin stayed out, led a lap. Important bonus point right there, possibly for the 7. Same for Evan. Well, actually, not really for Evan Toddy. He's already out of the playoffs, but is, I guess, trying to play himself a different strategy here. It looks like he is basically the last of the lead lap cars on this strategy here. There's Sashar, who's already made a stop. Caden Bishop, Caleb, Lucy, and Roberto all have made their pit stops already coming off pit road. So Toddy is currently the leader. He's on pit road, but where's the battle for the lead? Right there. There's the battle for the lead.
Ricci has closed that gap. That is not what Carter Jones wanted to see. He wanted to be a little bit faster off pit road. It did not help him, but Ethan O'Connor's going to get in between them again. He's going to fight the 62, though.
This could be vital here. Can Ethan O'Connor try and get by the 62 if a caution were to come out to get the free pass? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that. Ricci's now going to have to struggle to get by the 28. And Carter Jones reassumes the lead. There's Toddy coming off pit road. And it looks like he's going to come off in 3rd. What a stop.
Farley now going to merge right in front of the 62. So each of our leaders, once again, back in the midst of lap traffic. Lap traffic. There we go. But yeah, we see Sustry still up here as well. Rendered in, I want to say 4th. But Evan Toddy, yes, an excellent pit stop.
Caden Bishop right there has filed his way up in front of Caleb Ranelli, Paul Donlin, and Lucy. But yeah, great stop there by Evan Toddy to move himself up into 3rd. Man, he started this race in the 17th position and is all the way up into 3rd. Of course, drivers may think it's a little difficult to pass, but that 32 is making passing look simple.
And now here comes Ricci to the bottom of the 28. Hopefully he can get around the inside this time. He can try to see if he can catch the 62. 62 has a lot of lap cars in front of him, though. You see those. Evan Taddy's right there, though. I literally just noticed that. So this could get really big.
You know, I just got to point this out. I got to say this joke right now, but if you read the side of Evan Toddy's paint scheme, you know, he's thrown it back to the fabulous Hudson Hornet. But look at how they implemented this paint scheme. It says, Fabulous Evan Toddy, and he's making that car look pretty fabulous.
I didn't even notice that. That's absolutely amazing. I love it when drivers change up their throwbacks to reflect themselves with sponsors or stuff like that. But Evan Taddy knows how to do it.
Cars behind also trying to get their positions going. There's Jordan Fox, who is seemingly falling off a cliff here. Rough for that 60 group right there. And then we'll see Carter Jones. Yep, right there into the picture, putting Ethan Farley a lap down. Zach Shepard up and next here. But now Farley's going to fight to the inside, try and get that lap back.
Yeah, Shepard kind of put him in a tough spot right on that. They were bumper to bumper, so Carter Jones can make a route. But now Evan Taddy in second place.
Okay. I just mentioned how Toddy's making that car look fabulous. I don't know if anyone else has noticed it, but I've looked at the hood of that car, and I'm pretty sure it says going fast. So, yeah, he's
well, he is going fast.
He's going very fast, and if Carter Jones is going to keep battling Ethan Farley like this, especially on the outside, Toddy is flying. He's going to be there in no time.
Oh, yeah, neither of these guys have lap traffic to deal with, so the 32 and the 12 will gain on the 62 with all of these lap cars in front of the NDSU Chevrolet. So we have 37 laps to go. We're going to have a 3-car battle for the win, it seems like.
And now these two lap cars are going to be fighting side by side in front. Remember, that could be important because these drivers, if they do go a lap down, which they aren't right now, but if they do, they're going to be fighting for the free pass. So while Carter Jones hates seeing these guys race side by side, they kind of need to.
Yeah, you're right about that one. We haven't seen a caution. We've been close to incident very few times today. These guys have been able to handle 3 wide quite well in these setups. So even though an incident doesn't seem likely, you need to be there just in case.
He's going to get by the 86 of Shepard and easily brake check that 00. Early brake into the corner, and he's going to get by them both. And now, of course, they're going to be side by side. Going to try to race for that side by side position. Not at all what Evan Toddy wants.
Now let's see if Evan Taddy can make his way through those lap cars better than Carter Jones. Carter Jones also a significant amount of time. Here's Lindsey Dietz again, not really having a great run. That car is very, very slow comparatively to the rest of the field. Is he gonna hold up Kyler Sustry?
How about Roberto Crown Jr.? We have not talked about him once today, and he is running once again. No shocking, a very cool looking Kevin Harvick throwback there, and he's running really well here, looking to get inside the top 5.
Caden Bishop really using that outside as well to clear those 3 lap cars. But now look at this, Evan Taddy, Carter Jones, they're very close to each other.
Look at something else. Shepard has gotten back past Carter Jones, and now Shepard is back on the lead lap. Farley's the first to lap down, so if a yellow comes out, Farley will get the free pass. But all this battling, Toddy is going fast.
32 to go for the number 32, the fabulous Evan Taddy. What a race he has been having. He has not done anything all day until after those green flag pit stops, made his way up to the battle for the lead, and now he's looking to be a playoff spoiler.
Yeah, running really solid right now. Of course, you're right. He is the highest non-running playoff driver right now in second place. Obviously seems like he's got the fast car, but like everybody says, he's caught the driver, but now passing him is going to be very different.
There we go. Yes, Evan Taddy is going to need to try to get to that bottom. Obviously, that outside could work with those slower lap traffic, but not very much for a lead lap car, especially one as fast as Carter Jones as we go on board with that 32.
Yeah, let's just highlight this because I got to notice it. We were right. Toddy is shifting all the way down into second gear. That just shows how low these speeds are right now. Drivers don't. I'm sure they're all pushing it to the limit right now, but it doesn't seem like they're going as fast as they could. I'll be completely honest. Toddy shifted up to fourth gear there, but look at that, second gear.
Now he's still tucking in line behind Carter Jones. I saw him try to take a peek earlier. Kind of run a little bit lower. You can see that a little bit there. But not able to get around him. He's right on his back bumper, though.
I don't know. The way he's steering this race car, it seems like it's fast, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like it's perfectly handling exactly how he wants. He's shaking the wheel really back and forth, especially there in the previous corner there. But now Carter has a good run off there at turn 2. but he's got a lot more. He got Murillo right there in front. So now, what can Toddy do, knowing that he's got lap cars right now between right in front of the 62?
Evan's fighting a war on two fronts right now. You look in the rearview mirror, the 12 is right behind him as he tries to battle with Carter Jones in front of him. Carter able to get by Murillo quite easily, same with Evan. With the other two lap traffic, he's going to get forced to the outside by Quinn Yeager.
That's going to allow Evan Toddy to get a great run off of turn 4. He's going to be to the inside of Carter Jones, trying to take the lead. Jones slips up, and here comes Toddy.
Carter did not have the room to close off that run from Taddy, or at least didn't think it would be a good idea before he could have gotten punted. Carter Jones stuck on that outside, and if Quinn Yeager cooperates, there it is, Evan Taddy to the race lead.
Now, I got to bring up the points. We haven't really talked at all about the points today, but the points gap between first and second is 5 points. And Carter Jones, he's easily locked up most laps led today. So he's got 2 bonus points already right now. But if he can hold on and try and get past Toddy again for the win, that'll be huge. Toddy goes wide, and here comes Carter to the inside.
Quinn Yeager really seems to be controlling this lead. He can give and he can take away. As he's been doing with the lead all day right now, side by side, Carter Jones back to the lead.
And now he's going to get to the inside of Yeager to put him a lap down once again. But where does Toddy go here? How hard does Carter Jones fight the 29? He's going to get a good run off the corner. Looks like he's going to clear. Now Toddy's got to make quick work of this 29.
Now he's blocking right in front of that 29 right there, making sure that he does not try anything funny now, as that's exactly what the 29 is going to do, back to the inside.
That is not at all what Carter Jones wants. He's not going to want to run the inside, especially in turn 1 and 2, but Quinn Yeager is going to put himself back on the lead lap. Carter's stuck on the outside, and where does Evan Toddy go?
Richie's also cleared the 4.
Oh,
I think
caution's out.
Oh, yellow is out. Wow.
I don't know why.
That'll do something.
I do not see any cars around or anything, but we are under yellow here. And how about that? Just the high. Quinn Yeager stays on the lead lap. How about that?
Wow. That's why I see these lap cars defending. You know, we didn't really expect a caution today, but just in case there would be, you'd have to be in front of those leaders.
Now the question is, pit road is open this time. Does anybody bring it to pit road? I very much doubt it, especially these guys up front.
I doubt it. I mean, you mentioned the tires not being as big of a factor here, and you don't want to get run over on old tires, but that doesn't be an issue today at all. And here it really seems like track position seems to be key, even though passing has been not terrible today. Given with so little time left in the race, you really need that track position.
Yeah, no issue here. All right, let's see what happened to bring out the yellow here. It looks like it involves Sasso and Tanner Campos, possibly.
3 wide at Martinsville. Again, finally does not work out. Oh, that's a pretty big hit for Sasso. In the 26, some contact off of turn 2. I guess in the middle, Tanner did not have the room he thought he did.
Yeah, let's see. Here's another quick view. I'm not quite sure. It looked like Sasso was just kind of riding his lane there. Tanner Campos made contact with Lindsey Dietz there. Oh, yeah, look at him just turn right down into him, not even acknowledging he's there.
Oh, yeah. You thought he was frustrated that he was going 3 wide. I don't know. I'm not in the brain of Tanner Campos.
Here's on board with Anthony Sasso, and I'm going to be honest, this looks almost identical to what happened last week. Sasso was in almost a very similar wreck. He was 3 wide on the bottom, and his teammate, his future teammate, Dylan Jones, was on his outside and just came down into him, not even acknowledging he was there. But, yeah, what a bummer that was. We're under caution here for the first time here in Martinsville with just about 20 laps to go. Sasso goes around, makes contact with the inside wall. We're going to head to break here, and we will be right back for the restart with less than 20 laps to go.
What am I doing with my life? How is me sitting here doing absolutely nothing supposed to lead me to a successful future? Is this my purpose in the world? Talk to me, world. Is this my purpose? Hey, yo, it's Evan Toddy. And when I feel like I need to be at peace with the world, there's just one thing that I do, and that is crack open an ice-cold Arnold Palmer. This is already open. Well, this is awkward. So what are y'all waiting for? Drink Arizona, Arnold Palmer.
Didn't know.
All right, everybody, welcome back here. Look at the point standings. Caleb Marinelli and Justin Ricci looking really solid in the points. Not even really much to worry about. Carter Jones in the lead's only 8 points above the cut line. Meanwhile, Lucy struggling, only 5 points up as well. But Donlin and Sustrai running strong. They're only 5 points out. Meanwhile, Stern and Bishop kind of need a little bit of help here. But the points right now are really drastic with less than 20 laps to go.
Oh, yeah, it's crunch time here at Martinsville.
Here they go into the restart zone. Carter Jones, Evan Toddy on the front row. Green is back out.
Here we go now. Taddy Jones. Let's see who can get it done with 16 to go now. Carter with a good run on the inside is exactly what he needs. Ricci now, who hasn't been in the lead except for that one time during green flag pit stops, now looking to challenge. Not a great entry into turn 3, though.
Toddy trying to use the outside lane. Carter Jones has dominated this race. 15 laps to go here. He's gotten to the bottom right now, but can he get the run to the inside? He's got a good run off of 2, and he's going for the lead.
There he goes to that rear wheel of the 62. He's going to have the preferred line in 3 and 4 with 15 laps to go. And he's going to clear the 62. He's going to jump up in front of him now. Not quite. Carter gets the run on the outside, but now the 32 is clear.
Oh, that's not going to be good at all. That's going to force Ricci to this inside. Not at all what Carter Jones wants here. Now stuck on the outside. Toddy's going to be trying to pull away here, and caution's out again.
Cautions breed cautions. That's exactly what we'd expect. I think that's Zachary Shepard. The right front fender is damaged.
Slow on the racetrack right now. Looks like he's going to bring it to pit road this time by, but 13 laps to go. Evan Toddy is going to lead them under caution.
And you see the right front fender damaged on the 86 Zachary Shepard. So, that seems to be where the bulk of contact happens in these races. So we'll see what happens.
Pit road is
we hear
open,
it dragging.
So doesn't look like anybody's deciding to bring it to pit road once again. Of course, not really any reason to, not with this little laps to go. But Shepard is going to bring it to his pit stall and get some repair. Let's see what happened here. He's going to go 3 wide middle, it looks like.
Again, 3 wide. And this is in a different spot on the racetrack. Oh, he just runs out of real estate on the top.
And then he just almost essentially parks it on the outside. That must have been, I guess, they probably threw the caution there right before, right as he was in the middle of the racetrack, probably worrying, I guess, that they didn't want any more cars in this. But here's another quick replay. You see Quinn on the bottom, Don Falconer on the outside. Let's see.
Oh, it just slides up. Tight, looked like, in the middle of the corner. And then as he goes into one, the toe link obviously broken as the car just does not cooperate with him.
Yeah, all those other cars will get right by him as well here. And apparently he went around another lap and did not bring it to pit road. So that was probably the biggest scare for the officials to throw the caution here. But we're going to head to break here once again with possibly a restart with less than 10 laps to go at Martinsville. We'll be right back.
I'm hungry.
Oh, hey, Bailey, what's up?
Shut the up.
Oof. Bailey, have a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Better.
Wow, Carter. Thank you for those f***ing melty Snickers. Now I'm not such an angry
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
All right, everybody, welcome back here again. Look at the point standings one more time. The biggest thing to highlight here is Carter Jones. Now that he's not leading, he's only 4 points above the cut line, right on that cut line, and you got Sustrai right there behind. If he wins this race, he's going to easily shoot right above all these guys.
Oh, yeah. Again, in the same front row, Taddy and Carter Jones, but this time they're inverted. Carter on the outside, Taddy on the inside. Maybe that'll help Carter this time.
Green flag is back out. Toddy leads them. Carter Jones on the outside. A very even restart from both of them. Can Carter make the outside line work once again?
Not quite. Evan really clears. No, he's not able to clear. A big run on the outside from the 62.
Jones on the outside. He's ahead of Evan Toddy entering turn 4. Toddy with a good run off the corner. They're side by side at the line. 7 to go. Carter leads it.
The first 3 rows are, in fact, side by side. Now look at Caden Bishop looking for the lead, but Carter Jones, not a great 1 and 2. That's going to cause that outside lane to drop back.
Toddy takes the lead away here. Exactly what he needs. The Tau teammates, Ricci and Carter Jones, battling for second. Carter is stuck on the outside and cannot get anywhere. He is falling.
And now here it is. Carter Jones way, way up. He is losing several positions. Heartbreaking for that 62 team. What a great race it had been.
And of course, something you got to highlight, he was 4 points above and he was in second. If he keeps falling back, this is going to be huge. He might find himself outside of the cut line. He may go 3 on his teammate, but he's going to think better of it.
Look at Caden Bishop. Where did he come from? He's trying to get second now, but he's got the 12 car isn't reaching to put up quite a fight, as you can see.
Carter Jones slides up the racetrack a little bit. That causes Roberto having to check up. 4 laps to go. Toddy can't pull away. Caden Bishop looking for a second win in the playoffs.
Sussed right now to the bottom of Ricky. Those Tau teammates are really struggling on that outside contact. Wow, what a save from both of those drivers.
3 wide. Kylie forced it to the inside. 3 wide again. Roberto on the inside of Carter Jones. Contact and around they go.
Oh, it has gone from bad to worse for Carter Jones. The caution has come out. Is this going to be the end of the race?
I think this is going to be the end of the race. I don't think they're going to have enough time to go back around. Evan Toddy leads, and it looks like he's going to win this race.
Evan Toddy, the playoff spoiler. How about that? Carter Jones is cruising to a victory here in Martinsville to set up a championship for parents, but now he's got a broken front bumper.
I'm not going to lie. We've seen a lot of race car drivers. If they have damage, they're going to run on that bottom lane. I worry Carter Jones may... I don't know. He's going to lose so much more time. He's already outside the top 5 here as they're going to come to the white flag this time by under caution with Evan leading.
I think you hear that's the front suspension of Carter Jones' car dragging. He's pitting. That car is critically damaged.
Oh,
must have
my
been gotten
goodness.
the damage flag.
That is huge for the point standings. So many points he's going to lose here.
Oh, that is. He can't help but feel for that 62 team. They had the perfect car, almost the perfect day, but got shuffled back with that with that last caution, and it ruined it. It all ruined it.
Tough way to end it for the 62 Carter Jones. He's going to have to seriously depend on Homestead next race to have a shot at advancing to the Final 4. But you're right. Here he comes off of turn 4. It's going to be the fabulous Evan Toddy. He's going to spoil the playoff race today, and he is going to come to the line and win it here at Martinsville.
Wow, what a run for the season 1 champion Evan Toddy. I mean, he was eliminated in the last round of the playoffs. He was down. Well, he was out, but he's not down here, as you can see him winning at Martinsville.
What a run for Evan Toddy. What an incredible comeback. Remember, he started so low in this race. And what a comeback it was here. He's going to be able to do burnouts here now. But just something to highlight, especially some of the other runs. Caden Bishop came finishing runner-up. I don't know how. He was probably around 5th place all day and came home with a 2nd place finish. Meanwhile, he got his teammate Susdry in 3rd. What a run for Brink.
He's definitely going to need that in the playoffs if he wants to narrow that big points gap. Coming into the final race for the championship.
Toddy
hits the wall.
Toddy's struggling to do burnouts here. He's going to, I guess, try to do one of those. I don't even know what you call those types of burnout. Oh, he's not going to do. Okay. Well, something else to kind of highlight this year. Evan Toddy's now won 2 races this year. His first win was at New Hampshire. Honestly, a bigger version of this. So I think the 32 group's got these types of racetracks figured out.
That's what I mentioned, the flat tracks race, very similar, very little tire wear, very fuel dependent. And take a look at what he did!
He did this exactly at New Hampshire, too. Wow, this 32. They just love doing that little wall ride bit in the throwback race. I like that touch.
That's a bit of a throwback to like a half a year ago, but that's pretty cool.
Well, he's going to continue to do burnouts here. Again, he's going to also continue to struggle to do those burnouts here. But What a run it was for Evan Toddy here once again. Solid race, playing this playoff spoiler here. Plenty of drivers going to be depending on Homestead next week for the final race of the round of 8, looking to advance to the Final Four. One of those drivers, Carter Jones, dominated the race and has fallen outside of the top 20. He's going to need the points, and it's going to happen, hopefully, at Homestead. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Justino, for joining me. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed the race, and let's take a look at the finishing results.